She was a very big fan of mine, so I think it started from there. She used to watch all my movies, you know. She used to stalk me all the time. Do I get flowers? Oh yeah, of course, all the time. She was very confused about motherhood and that if she wanted to have a child or not.
We are, very solid, and we are very protected in our love, and I mean, we don't need any more validation than that.
Oh, now you're talking. Wow.
Hello everyone and welcome to Pink Villa. Today I have a couple with me who is actually known for not conforming to the societal norms of love but actually having their own roots. Joining me in a conversation is the dashing Arjun Rampal and the gorgeous Gabriella Demetriades. Welcome to Pink Villa, guys.
Hi, thank you.
I want to start off by actually knowing, how did you guys hit it off? Like, where did you all meet? How did it all start? Can you guys let us know a little story and insight towards how it all began?
She was a very big fan of mine, so I think it started from there. She used to watch all my movies, you know. She used to stalk me all the time. And I was like, who's this very interesting person? No, just kidding. It just happened, I think, out of the blue. Through common friends, we met. You know? And we were discussing food, and we both are foodies. And I think that was like the breaking point,
deal breaker.
The deal maker.
Yeah, true.
It was a conversation about food, and I said, why don't you and she said, I cook a really good leg of lamb, and I was like, sure. I mean, why don't you come and cook some lamb for me?
Basically, he wanted me to prove it because he didn't believe that I was a good cook.
Yeah.
He wanted me to cook at his house.
Yeah.
So obviously,
I had to go buy all these.
I was not going to be running around looking for.
And then she just came, and in 15-20 minutes, there was this amazing leg of lamb, which me, my friends and family and everybody really, really enjoyed.
And I've been cooking ever since.
And then I said, the saying is true. The way to a man's heart is through his stomach.
And Gabby, what was your first impression about him when you saw him, met him? What were you thinking on your way back home to yourself?
I thought he was much more natural and down to earth than I had this idea in my head. I think you do of anyone that's that's largely famous. You always think that they might be a little bit hard to talk to or egotistical, but he was none of those things. And we got along really well. We had a lot in common, from food to fashion to films to everything. So we really had a lot to talk about. We had a love for dogs. I made him get 2 dogs basically the week that we met. So I think it was a very natural friendship that sort of happened between the two of us, and then
kept evolving.
And now that it's been a couple of years, I want to know what's changed between the dynamic that you two share. There's something that has evolved, as you rightly said. What is that one thing you would say that has rightly changed between you?
Together, you discover many aspects of each other. And I think that in a way it was a blessing because we got to spend a lot of time with each other and understand each other's temperaments, because I am very particular in the way I lead my life. And she's also she's got a very different personality of her own, and she's got a very strong mind of her own, where she likes things in a particular manner. So to find a balance between that was, I think, what has changed, where we
it was an art.
And you mentioned that you both are very strongly opinionated. When you all fight or probably have disagreements, how do you all come to a middle ground?
Normally,
we can't discuss that on Pink Villa. I'm sorry. No, we really can't discuss that on Pink Villa.
No, so normally he does a lot of groveling and apologizing and buys flowers, cooks lovely meals.
I can't cook.
Do you get flowers for her?
Do I get flowers for her? Yeah, of course, all the time.
When?
No,
I mean, from the beginning, I've said that I'm not really like a flowery kind of girl.
But I still get you flowers.
Yeah.
I've got you a couple of times, 3-4 times.
Yeah. So that's not something that we do, but
not every time.
But we're different in the sense that like we like to work out together.
Yeah, to work out together is lots of fun. Go for long runs together, go for walks together. I think that's a great space to be in. And we like the same kind of music. We like the same kind of films, that we watch together.
Except Arjun binge watches them because I fall asleep.
She falls asleep. And every evening, she has to watch something on the telly. And so she'll put on a show. We'll all get ready to watch the show. And in 10 minutes, she's fast asleep. But then I'm the kind of person who puts something on. I have to see it to the end. So I'm the one who's stuck till 2 a.m. watching these shows, and she's gone to bed.
Yeah, I like to sleep early. Actually, we both like to sleep early normally.
So I don't like to put on the show.
So we try and limit it to like a movie because then we know we won't get stuck. But if we start a show, he has to finish it, even if it's like 10 episodes. So we have to keep him away from those on school nights.
Yeah.
And Gabby, how has RX present changed your life? I mean, it's obviously a big change. I want to know what difference do you see in yourself as a person?
I think that maybe like the person that was always on the inside has come out more. So now I don't need an excuse to not go out anymore and stay on the couch because I have a baby, so everybody knows. But I think I'm intrinsically like a homebody, and like Arj said, I'm into fitness and health. So having a baby has just solidified all of that more for me, and I think made me a little bit more calm and focused. Yeah,
it was a bit scary before he was born. I didn't know like what's gonna happen, right? Because she was very confused about motherhood, and that if she wanted to have a child or not. And she didn't know like if she would be able to take on that kind of responsibility. But the day he was born, I mean, I think she just became a different person. She just held him and she was like, oh my God, I want one more. And every day
now I'm like, I want 10, please.
And I'm like, please, they're very expensive.
And, in 2019, when Arjun, you were going through a difficult phase in your life, and then you took the internet by storm by, posting a picture of Gabby with a baby bump with a very cute caption that my baby is going to be giving a baby. I want to know, how did you unanimously decide to go public?
Well, I mean, it was something, we both are quite private. I mean, at least I'm very private in my approach towards life. And it was something which is a big step that we both were taking. It was a step which obviously was going to be scrutinized and, looked into by many people, on many levels. And everybody would have had their opinions on it. And it doesn't matter, but it's still, you are a public person and it kind of does, kind of affect you somewhere. And we were like, this was a joyous time. And we should just celebrate it rather than people be saying, oh, how do we hide it? And, don't look at my baby, or don't do this, or don't do that. And we kind of, in our own heads also as celebrities, tend to create these images and perceptions of our own selves in our own minds, okay, which sometimes can get very confusing in communication with your audience or with people who you meet on Instagram, or like your fans, or your friends or family members or anybody. And for everybody to feel comfortable, we said the best way to do it, okay, is to put this really nice image of the three of us out there. Three of us meaning even Arik and Tummy. And I said, let's do that. And we actually did this shoot And we did do it with the mind to put out this picture. So this thought actually came afterwards. So we done this shoot, and then we saw this, and I was like, this is the best way to introduce this part of our lives going forward to the world. And that's how we did it.
And I think
so
the
it
world
was
accepted
not
it really nicely.
yeah, I think so. And all those fears that we had in our own minds, kind of just were like just fears that were in our own heads. And that's something which you taught me as well, that one should just lead their lives the way they want to lead it, and put it out there if you want to. And, good things will happen.
That is beautiful. We have, that's why I said, you all have made your own rules of love. And did you all ever get submissive to the idea of the societal norms that, kar lete shaadi, or maybe we should just consider getting married just so that, people don't say anything? Or is that ever a part of a plan?
हमारी शादी तो हो गई है ना, दिल से मिल गए और क्या?
That is true, yeah.
और क्या चाहिए? You need a piece of paper to validate it. I don't think so. And even she doesn't. She's the one who is not at all into marriage.
I wouldn't say I'm not. I think it's a very beautiful thing. I think that it's great for everybody that wants to do it, but I don't think everybody has to do it. It's like anything in life, right? It's we can be together and live together for longer than a married couple would, and then does that make us any less of a couple? No. And there's many people that they can't get married for whatever reason they can't get married, and does that make their love any more or less significant? I don't think so. So I think for us it's like we are very solid, and we are very protected in our love, and I mean we don't need any more validation than that. And I mean the only time that we will maybe is if Arik says, hey guys. But otherwise I think that it's a choice that it's not even a big deal. We live together, we're a family, and I think the most important part of that is family.
Arjun, my last question to you before we play a small game is, you said that in your previous interview she loves reading books. She has finished a lot of books during lockdown, and she's a very well-read person. She makes the most out of time when it comes to fashion, being an artist and painting. I want to know, in what way has she influenced you with her activities in your life?
Got so many wonderful talents in terms of her art, or if it is in terms of her design sense with fashion, her knowledge about fashion, her love for fashion, a love for dressing people up, and for me to see Mahika and Myra just get totally, rely upon her completely. It's like, what should we get? What should we do? And, discuss things like that is really, really heartwarming. Reading, okay, a voracious reader. Okay, so it's great because she's quiet most of the time, and I don't have to hear her all the time. And she brings that excitement into my life, which is, thank you, lots of fun. And,
I'll remember that the next time I ask you to read something.
Yeah, but then she'll tell me, you read it. But you've already read it, just tell me the story. And then I'll pretend I've read it. I'm an actor. I'm supposed to pretend about it.
No, but you do a lot of reading too.
But I do a lot of reading, but it's more related towards my work.
And do Mahika and Myra go to you for fashion advice? That's so lovely.
I mean, they do not advice.
Not advice, but they have an extreme love for clothes as well. Not as crazy as I am, because I'm a bit of a maniac. But so when we're abroad, I'm normally the one that will buy their presents, and then Arj will take the claim for what they've
That's not
chosen.
true. I buy a lot of stuff for them. I take them out and I buy their stuff. Because my fashion sense is pretty decent itself.
Yeah, it is.
So
in that sense, it's not really.
When I see it's getting a bit carried away into a different direction, then I have to step in.
It's
and
not.
I have to be calm it down.
It's like
take it easy.
We're both.
A notch lower, please. Okay.
We're all just feeding off each other. They have a love for fashion. They have a great sense of style. They both have very different senses of their own individual style. So it's not that they.
No, what I meant was that
It's a shared
it
interest.
was a nice way of also creating a good friendship. You understand? Through these hobbies and through these interests, what happens is when you discuss these things, okay, and they're like, oh, you like this brand, you know about this brand, because I wouldn't. And mostly Meher wouldn't, okay, know about those brands. But because she's from that another generation in a way, so they're like, yeah, okay, she knows about it, that's cool. And so they get along on that level very, very easily.
That's amazing. Now I just want to test as to how well do you guys know each other. So I'm going to start off by asking you questions. One habit about you that Arjun doesn't like.
He doesn't like my untidiness and disorganization.
True.
Okay. A movie that made him cry.
Oh, what is the name? We just watched it and I was like, baby, you're crying. Made him cry, made me cry.
Made him cry.
I know this one. We just watched it recently with the guy, the security guard. And it's based on a true story. Clint Eastwood directed it. And he's a bit on the bigger side and he saves all those people.
It's a complicated name.
Who's on Arjun's speed dial?
Mahika, Myra, and me, and Bablu.
Bablu is it? But yeah, the other three are.
Bablu's
my.
He's been with him for years. He's
my extended family member.
Yeah.
He's my driver, come spot boy, come buddy.
Something that turns Arjun off big time would be what?
I revert to the first answer, which is untidiness. No, so untidiness would be a big turn-off. I think dishonesty for him would be disloyalty. Actually, that would be the biggest.
And two things that no one knows about him, what would that be?
I mean, I'm going to keep it surface levels. That he is a very good runner. Most people don't know that, do they?
No, I don't think so. Yeah.
And that he can make a good carbonara.
His favorite film of his own, till date.
Rajniti?
Close.
Close?
Up there. Yeah.
Which one would it be?
It's tough for me also to answer that one.
I think the best.
Yeah, but I think Rajniti is up there. I think Rock On is up there. Daddy and D-Day.
Oh yeah, D-Day was very good as well. I've seen 10 Bollywood, all of which star Arjun Rampal. So
no, that's not true. I've seen other ones also.
Just recently, he's introducing me to the world of Hindi cinema.
But I have to say, I loved you in A Houseful. You were my favorite. That still stays with me. Three things that Gabriella can't step out without.
3 things: a handbag, phone, handbag, and sunglasses.
No. He's already lost.
She's quite minimalistic like that. So 2 is good enough.
A habit about you that she hates would be?
That I am very particular about how things should be placed in a particular manner in the house, and it should be clean and tidy. And I keep nagging her. So I think my nagging on that level. 3 things you said.
No, 1.
1. Okay.
Don't worry, just one.
And on a holiday, what is the first thing that Gabby would do? Prefer doing the first, basically.
And the first thing she wants to do is make a plan as to when we're going to the beach.
Right now it's be texting.
Or where she's going to go to shop.
That's true. I would say the shopping probably more.
One thing Gabby likes you seeing in the most in terms of fashion.
What she likes to see me in the most.
The most.
You know.
She likes me when she picks up clothes for me.
No.
So those clothes that if I wear them, she likes me in them. And if she's made me something, which I put on, and then she's very happy.
That's true.
Like these pants. See? She made me these pants. basically.
Oh, pretty cool. What's Gabby's biggest pet peeve?
Like, what do I hate that people do?
Is forced to socialize. You know, I think she just can't handle that. Yeah, so she gets very irritated.
That's true. I cannot deny that.
Yeah, even though she's
And last,
on social networking sites, but you ask her to socialize with humans. No.
Some humans I like.
and lastly, if she had to give up fitness or her Instagram, which one would she give up and why?
Oh, now you're talking. Wow. Oh, that's a really good one. Oh, God, I wish there was a situation which was actually real and true to this
It is.
question.
Every morning when I'm looking on Instagram and then I choose to go to the gym, what do I give up?
Oh, that's not giving up. You're putting it down momentarily. If you're giving up, she's talking about. I think she'd give up Instagram because for her fitness is more important. And I hope that is the truth.
Yeah.
So do
I
you
mean,
validate
honestly,
that?
because like for many reasons, like serotonin levels as well, I would not be able to not exercise. So I think he's right, even though it would be a tough one.
It would be devastating.
So with that, we come to an end. This was so much fun. You guys are actually super cute. Thank you so much. And
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, I hope we can reunite again.
And
Are
happy,
you-
happy Valentine's
Happy
Day.
Valentine's Day. And everybody, lots of love.
Thank
Who are watching. And spend your Valentine's Day in a very special manner.
Thank you so much, guys. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.